5, 16, 19, 21, 33, and 10. Check results. You remember?
216, might be 216 PODAY. And it's been a very musical week. Sorry, I started that as if I do this weekly. It's been a very musical yesterday or day before maybe. Um, Travis Scott, Utopia, Post Malone, Austin. I've listened to. If you were to combine these together, I think. I don't know actually. I think 17 and then that'd be 16, 15. I think Post Malone's one may have been 17 songs. And then I think Travis Scott's was like 2 songs more, which means there'd be 19. And if that was the case, 19 at 17, 29, 36, that's 36 songs. So let's imagine both these albums together as a 36 song album. Let's assume that those numbers were initially right and the maths was right. And I would say I've listened to about 65% of it. And if you're wondering, my differential split is 100% of Post Malone's and maybe the first 3 songs of Utopia. And it's a shame that was released on the same day because, Post Malone has been massively overshadowed by this album. And, but a lot of people love it. And so, like, on Twitter, I'm seeing so many memes and stuff like, oh, this album's, like, sick. It's like, and he's, like, one of these people where it takes a while because Post Malone, he'll release an album, like, every year or two, like, pretty regularly. I think this is his first one in, like, 5 years. I think his last one was Astro World, which, thinking about it, does feel like a really long time ago. I don't think I've ever listened to a Travis Scott album before, but I've also never listened to like a Playboi Carti album before, and I think he's a lot more accessible than Playboi Carti for the average person. To try and jump into an album and listen to it. That being said, this one was said to be very experimental. That's what I've been seeing and stuff. A lot of directions that are working, and a lot of apparently Kanye inspiration. And even though I've never, I'm just showing I'm not a huge music guy, and even though I've never listened to like many, if any, Kanye albums, I love albums that are always described as Kanye inspired. I've noticed, so I feel like I should like it, but Post Malone is someone I'm already invested in. So I put the thing on. I'm listening to it all on this and that. I got both earphones in, and then Travis Scott is like a new thing, and I'm like playing F1 at the same time, and I'm like it's kind of just becoming noise in the background. I'm like I'm not really getting it. So I think because I already have an investment into certain people, it's like it's just easier. It's just easier to like give it its chance, and for someone new, it's like because it's just new. You're so quick to out first song 20 minutes, seconds in, can't be bothered type thing. So, but I wanna listen to it and see if I like it because everyone's saying it's really good. I don't really like. Do I like the name Utopia? It's alright. Don't know. I don't really like the album cover. I'll say that. Like, it's like Travis in the corner, and I just don't really like the album cover. But that's completely irrelevant. But not to me. Album covers are, cover art's important. I feel like good cover art's nice. I just like it's nice. And this one, I don't really feel it. But I'll try. You know what? Actually, I can't say that because I'll do another one of these tomorrow, and I can't promise I will listen to it by tomorrow, even though it's only like an hour. But within what's the days? God, it's Saturday today as well, so it's just extra. I can't even say by next week because that's just basically the same thing. And Formula 1 was on today, so I was watching that. It was like sprint and sprint qualifying bullshit. And because it was like raining bears, because it rains in Spa, Belgium every year, whatever. It was just everything was just delayed, so it just took time. And then tomorrow, sports wise, like sometimes people ask me, "Are you free on the weekend?" And in my head, it's like, "Yeah, I am free," but I'll say no. Because realistically, I know I'm doing nothing, and if I describe what I'm actually doing, they're going to say, "Well, that's free," So you are free. You're just lazy. But it's like to me, the weekends are not free because I want to spend that time doing nothing, watching sports basically, Formula 1 or football. I don't want to. I want to watch it. You know what I mean? And tomorrow, Grand Prix Belgian Grand Prix before the break as well as like a 3 week break, and then in the evening preseason game against Fulham, I believe. I want to watch that stuff, you know, and also I can't go out if there's like I can't. Even if football started like 4 in the afternoon, I had to do something quickly before. I don't even want to go out and do something before. If I've got work tomorrow, I don't want to do something like I will only go out and do something if if there's like a 2 day buffer either side for not having work. So if there's work tomorrow, the work the day before, no, because if there was work the day before, I'm having a calm down. You know, I've got a fucking hate work. If there's work the day tomorrow, it's like no, I just got to chill while I can because I got work tomorrow. So I'm loving every morsel of chilling moment I get. So that's one thing, and then sports is another. Utopia. God, that was a big old tangent. I'll listen to it, but for the next 2-3 days, 1 to 2 to 3 days, I'll listen to it so I can at least give it my honest feedback, and I want to like it. I remember trying to listen to a whole lot of Red. I never listened to Playboy Kaya before. I'm just like big artist, obviously this and that. I need to. I was just getting on the train to work. This was back when I was working at a warehouse. I remember it so vividly, and I got like 3 songs, and I was just like, nah, it's not my thing. I know that was like a largely like experimental album, and one that people have said, since a lot of people didn't like. I think when it came out, but now they look back and say it was really really good. People just weren't ready or didn't know what they were getting yet. A lot of people also say that about what's Drake's one called? Certified Lover Boy? No, the other one, the dance one. This is gonna piss me off massively, because I can see the stupid font and I can't remember the name. And he dropped so many albums. It's like honestly, it's pretty easy to forget because he's dropping albums all the time. He's got like the For All the Dogs one soon, right? I never listened to a Drake album before either in full. Sorry, I'm a cretin. No, I can't remember. I'm trying. It would be more rewarding if I could get it without googling it, but it's just not gonna happen. Drake. I'm typing with only my left hand. I could usually type at least a bit faster than that. I'm not gonna claim I'm actually. Honestly, never mind. It's like such a naff, such a naff title as well. Don't like. I feel like titles are cool as well. Like if I go through these, nothing was the same. That's all right. Views. That's calm. Scorpion. Take Care. I mean, Certified Lover Boy. I don't really like that title. And honestly, never mind. I don't really like that title either. Let's go to. I can talk about Post Malone's album though. God, my hair is so dry. Look at it. It's just not. Look at it, man. It's just like, I mean, it's not really showing up as how dry it is on camera, but Travis Scott. Travis Scott is such a weird name because it's not his name. I don't know the reason behind picking that name, but it's like it's so like his actual name is, I don't know how you say that first name. Jacquez. I don't think it's Jax, although he has albums called like Jack Boys and stuff, and like Cactus Jack, but I don't know if you pronounce it Jax. I feel like it's a foreign name, but in the English way you would just say Jax, but I feel like it's like would be Jackez. But there's no like there's no like accent on any of the letters. I don't know. Bermon Webster II. Call me Travis Scott. You got Astro World. That's kind of a cool name. Rodeo. Birds in the Trap. I've noticed recently that like Jack Boyd, yeah. I noticed recently that like it's really like popular to like name your album and or your tour something really wordy, like a phrase. Like you know how Jack Harlow had Come Home, The Kids Miss You. Post Malone's tour right now is called Post. It's just like really popular to make your album or tour at the moment like a long phrase. So the fact is, it's just called one word Utopia. I don't mind it. Trying to find what his tour's called is not gonna work. Maybe if I go to his Instagram, I could find it. It's just really not that important. But once I get these things stuck in my brain, it's like I have to know. Post Malone's album. I think Okay, what was his most recent ones? Oh, I got a lot of things googling on the go here. It's going to get confusing. I could rank them actually because I've listened to them all. I said that in a really posh voice. I could rank them actually. Um, but first I got to find out what this tour's called because it's going to piss me the fuck off. Post. I'm literally going to his Instagram, see if he's posted about it. Oh my god, the puns just don't stop coming. And I've been watching The Bear recently as well, which is, by the way, been very good. Guys, I'm not saying that he's. Oh, his tour's called "If Y'all Weren't Here, I'd Be Crying." You know, like a wordy long phrase. The "If y'all weren't here, I'd be crying" tour. Like it's the type of thing. If you're going to talk about it, you just have to abbreviate it, and it's a hard thing to not abbreviate. Like when you take the first letter of everything. Is that abbreviation? No, abbreviation is when you shorten it. Acronym it, which is hard because there's no vowels. It'd be IYWHI. Not great. Well, I guess I is actually in a vowel, so I'm a fucking idiot. But yeah, let's rank the albums, and therefore I can give my viewpoint of all the albums. Is this all of them? This isn't even all of them. God, why can't you just show me the albums? I think there's only 5, right? This is the 5th one. And this is showing me 4, and I know what the 5th one is. So you got Stoney, you got Beer Bongs and Bentleys, you got Hollywood's Bleeding, 12 Carat Toothache, and Austin. And in 5th place, I think it's sad because I have recency bias. So whenever I hear something for the first time, I tell myself, or maybe sometimes I try and trick myself into being like, that was good. So it's now harsh to look back and be like, it actually wasn't, or I didn't actually like it that much. And I don't remember Hollywood's Bleeding too much. But with that being said, I think it is quite easy for me. I think 12 Carat Toothache is my least favourite out of the 5. I know it didn't hit for a lot of people straight away. For me, I at least tried to take something from it. It was a very mellow album for the most part. It had a couple songs in it that I was trying to appease to certain audiences. I feel like Insane is a song that's trying to appease to like still doing like the rap hip hop aspect kind of stuff, like the trap sound. Is that even right? I feel like I just stole that from what someone else said maybe on a thing. But like the lyrics, you know, like second verse, 8, like it's just not that great. A lot of people didn't like Coop Top. I liked it enough, but I think it's just a lot. The song with Doja Cat is just like mid. You know, they're okay. Like the one with what's the little Australian boy called? Little Australian boy. What's his name? You know the one. There's not many. Is that they're okay, but it's quite like a down record. I feel like when you're talking about music and you want to sound like you know what you're talking about, you say record instead of album. But it takes breaks from being this really like depressing sort of collection of songs that occasionally just have these songs that are just in here to try and make sure this album still gets numbers, and those songs aren't that great. Next, is it going to be able to bring up the songs fact? Cause okay, yeah, Hollywood's Bleeding. What's on this one? Circles is on this. Sunflower for the soundtrack. Staring at the Sun. I quite like that song. Goodbyes. Enemies. Internet. 1,000 Bad Times. I quite like Hollywood's Bleeding. I'll be honest. And it's difficult. I think if a lot of people had to do this themselves, they would put Beer Bongs and Bentleys as their favourite album. But I think if Post Malone went, like, we were on the old post, the post that was doing numbers, I feel like if he made songs that were like majority of the ones on Beer Bongs and Bentleys, the album would be really poorly received. I just feel like it was really good for the time. And I feel like if he tried to tap into that sound, like now, it would not hit the same. And it would get pounded like by people like Fantano or something. Like songs like Zack and Codeine. I like Zack and Codeine. And what's the other one I'm thinking of? I'll find it. Beer Bongs and Bentleys. But yeah, songs like Zack and Codeine and I mean this song's got loads of like these kind of candy sounding songs. Sugar Wraith, Same Bitches. There's another one, Taking Shots. Rich and Sad, that's the song I was trying to think of. And obviously it's got the ones like Better Now, obviously Stay, Psycho. Wow, there's some real big old songs on there, you know, like Radio charting songs that are really going to bring you the streams. It's difficult. It's difficult. It's difficult. I'm going to put Hollywood's Bleeding at 4, I think. I'm going to put Hollywood's Bleeding at 4. I do like it, but I don't return to it too much, and I feel like if I liked it that much, I would have returned to it more. And now we got Austin, the most recent one, Stoney, and Beer Bongs and Bentleys. Someone's going to have to remind me of Stoney, please, because I like Stoney. I was listening to that actually the other day, like a couple days ago, and there wasn't many skips in it for me. Man, but there's a lot of I feel like there's a lot of long songs, like 3.5 minute plus songs on Stoney. And I don't want to put Austin too high because it's like a recency bias thing, but I do really like it so far. It's very like acoustic sound, like sort of, you know, drifting kind of thing. I'm gonna put it above Stoney right now because I think it's more accomplished and it's more refined than Stoney. I think it's doing what Stoney does, but maybe a bit better with like maybe less auto-tune or less heavy auto-tuning points or just a more refined sound maybe. So I'm gonna put Stoney third. So my final order is 12 Carat Toothache, 5th, Full Hollywood's Bleeding, 3rd Stoney, and I'm gonna put Austin second and Beer Bongs and Bentleys first. I said everyone's gonna put Beer Bongs and Bentleys first as if I'm like a guy of higher culture and I wouldn't do that. But I think I was looking at it and there's just too many bangers on it and it stood the test of time, I feel like, for me and a lot of post Malone fans, in a way that Austin just hasn't had the time to do yet. It could drop like a stone or do just as well, and it won't do anywhere near the numbers of Beer Bongs and Bentleys. But, you know, that's not the point. That's not what we're taking into account here. So I'm going to put it second for now and Beer Bongs and Bentleys first, but we'll see. People saying like Post fell off, and it's like he did fall off because he was like top 3 most streamed people on Spotify at a point, and now it's like top 15. So it's like big work, you know. It's like, oh, you're really in the gut, you know. It's like he fell off, but he still gets 63 million, you know, monthly listeners. So it's like, you know, he was so high up. It's like, yeah, now he's a little bit below that, but it's not like he's exactly. Like, for example, people were saying like, and I know that Travis at the time, people were making his argument, hadn't had an album out in 5 years. But I was trying to say like, Travis is huge and Post Malone completely fell off. But it's like, he gets more monthly listeners than Travis. Won't be the case right now, obviously, after that album just dropped. But, yeah, you know, that's all I gotta say. I liked Austin, I thought it was good. Pick out a song. I think my favourite song on it, as of right now, is, let me Google it, because I don't remember. Forgive me, but I don't remember. It's called, is it Sign Me Up? Don't think it's Sign Me Up. Hold My Breath? Fuck me, I don't know. I think it's Hold My Breath, but don't count me to that. I think Hold My Breath is my favourite one on there, but if it's the one I'm thinking of, it is, but I don't remember. I've only listened to it like, through like 3 times, so it's hard to remember. But I think it's Hold My Breath. So yeah, thank you. I guess I'll do another one for these I can get 2 videos out of this. I'll do another one for Utopia. And then, yeah. But this was 2, I've forgotten already, 16 maybe, so, you know, see you then for the next.
Here with a kid, and I had like 3 kids, and the geezer was probably on like maximum 20 bags a year. Like the most boring bloke you'll ever meet. He was like a hero.